Hello everyone, thank you for watching this video. I want to remind you something about watching videos on YouTube, which I absolutely love to do. You can watch a 1-hour video in 30 minutes. Wouldn't that be exciting? So all you have to do is when you're playing a video,
Hi, my name's Jay.
I'll turn the volume down a bit here. All you need to do when you're watching a video is hit on Settings, click on Speed, and you can increase the speed of the video. And of course, they're going to be talking a little faster. So pick the speed that you're comfortable listening to. I like listening to double speed. You can hear the voice sounds a little funny.
Priced, they're not very aggressive. At the bottom of the spectrum, close to the point here, you've got those homes that are most aggressively priced. Think of all those foreclosures that are on the market. The banks have discounted and discounted. The other axis down here is condition. Those are the two things that add up to value, pricing and condition. On the right-hand side.
So just a quick tip. I hope you use it and enjoy it.
So today's, well, not in the field. I constantly, as I work with agents and even as I work with brokers, there seems to be a huge confusion between Business Builder and ZAP. So let's get a few things on the table. Also, if you have any specific questions that you want addressed in today's session, put them in the chat box. I'll keep an eye on them, and if they're not going to be something that we cover, it'll be something that we go ahead and talk about anyway. So, but if it's something we're going to cover in the content, I won't immediately address it. But if you have some other questions that maybe aren't in the content, we can go ahead and talk about them either at the beginning of the session or at the end of the session. So one of the things that I constantly hear is, why ZAP and why Business Builder, and why should I use both, and which one's better, and what do I do? Well, that we're going to talk about today. Also, the next one I hear is, those of you that have been in the system for a few years, Business Builder went away. And it went away for about 6 months. And we didn't have a campaign program because it was right after we launched ZAP. Some companies had ZAP, some companies didn't have ZAP. Business Builder went away. So now there's a little bit of phobia. If I start using Business Builder, is it going to go away? Well, first, let me tell you that we just signed a 2-year agreement with Market Leader. So for the next 2 years, you're safe. What happens after that? I don't have a clue. But you know what? What I can tell you is over the history with the brand, and I've been with the brand for over 30 years, when we have a client management system such as Business Builder, and we do make a transition to another product, we move all your contacts over. So you know what? You're not going to lose anything. So don't say, oh, it may only be there for 2 years. You know what? 2 years worth of good follow-up from Business Builder can bank you more appointments, more opportunities, and hopefully also more business. On average, to stay first in mind with a consumer in today's marketplace, you have to be in front of them. Now, these are consumers even scarier. Anybody know how often you have to be in front of a consumer for them to remember who you are and to remember what you do on an annual basis? Anybody have a guess? If you do, put it in the chat box for me, please. 3 to 4 times a year? Alex, we need to talk.
33. Oh, yeah.
Anybody else have a guess? 12 times? Shelley? Let's take Alex's 3 times your 12, and we'll be closer. Shirley, you're almost close. We need to double you. You're looking anywhere between 36 to 42 times a year for somebody to remember who you are and what you do. And scary, guys, that's your friends and family and past clients. There's so much noise online. There's so many people out there. There's so much advertising. And, it's just really hard. And I know a lot of times I teach a marketing class. It's Market Share That Matters. So check it out. It's in C2NU. And we really talk about how to get in front of clients, that many times without having them turn us off and shut us down. And really, it's not as bad as you would think. Life at Home newsletter, that's 12 touches a year. And, just listed once a month, that's 12 touches. Just sold once a month, that's 12 touches. You're already at 36. You haven't even door knocked. You haven't made a phone call, and you haven't sent a postcard. So don't freak out that it's a lot, but understand the fact that you need to be there. So Business Builder fills that void, and it does it extremely well. So going back to what I was saying, use it, leverage it. We teach 2 different classes in Business Builder here in C2NU. We teach Business Builder 101 or 121, which is your beginning Business Builder, making sure it's set up properly, making sure you also have access not to only your listings, but your company listings. And then we teach Business Builder 221, which is leveraging campaigns, building content, and adding video. So those are my learning plugs for today. But you know what? So why use Business Builder and why use ZAP? That's what we're going to talk about. So let's go ahead and jump in. But I wanted to throw those things out there. Don't shy away from Business Builder because you think it's not going to be around. There's some talk about changing and transitioning tools. I have gotten confirmation from the marketing team that Business Builder, CMA Toolkit, Brand Center, and Golden Roller are not going anywhere. And I'll tell you what, if you leverage those 4 tools, you'll increase your business. And you want to know how? Come back and join me in another class. So let's go ahead and get started. I kind of stole extra time to get some more people in there. So why should you use Business Builder or ZAP? Anybody have any suggestions? Put them in the chat. What do you think? I kind of told you a little bit of it already. But you know what? You really need to use both of them. And you need to use both of them correctly and with the right intentions to make sure that you're leveraging both tools. Both tools can increase your book of business, and both tools can affect your bottom line when it comes to your 1099. To send out automated emails, absolutely. That's one of the great things that both of the products do. Both ZAP and Business Builder both have campaigns. So why would I have somebody on one campaign and somebody on the other? Well, let's talk about it. What do we think we should put our friends and family? So let's talk about leads and let's talk about contacts. If we have all our friends and family, what product do you think we should put them in? Should we put them in our ZAP or should we put them in our Business Builder? Green check mark for ZAP, red X for Business Builder. So we're going to do that today because we're going to ask some questions about ZAP and Business Builder. Green check for ZAP, red X for Business Builder. So your friends and family, should they go in ZAP or should they go in Business Builder?
I think the answer is always ZAP.
So far, Business Builder is winning. Business Builder is winning. My Business Builder people are absolutely 100% right.
Okay.
Can you also put them in ZAP? Absolutely. ZAP will keep an eye out if they're on your app, if they're reaching out, and if they start creating a score and they start searching, you can get that secret code within that ZAP by having them, by sharing your website. But really what you need to do with your friends and family, you need to put them in Business Builder. Birthday reminder campaigns, holiday drip campaigns. You want to make sure that they're seeing that you're active in real estate. So friends and family, you need to go in Business Builder. You may have them in your ZAP so you can see if they're actually looking and searching and checking out your app and going to your website. But realistically, you need to put them in the follow-up campaigns that we offer in Business Builder. And we'll talk about those campaigns some more. So you guys did great. So you ready for your next test? Remember, green check mark for ZAP, red X for Business Builder. How about buyers? Where should your active buyers be? In ZAP?
Probably in ZAP.
In Business Builder.
So you can get a score.
Mm-hmm.
You guys got that one. That's a no-brainer one. Man, you guys rocked it out. Absolutely. You can put your active buyers, John, into Business Builder, but really where I want you to focus them, your active buyers and your active clients need to be in ZAP. ZAP is 100% designed
I answered it wrong.
to do one
Unless
thing.
there's another.
I know.
It's to create that opportunity from somebody that starts to engage in the process to look for real estate and to purchase real estate, to getting them through that transition, which could be anywhere from 6 months to 18 months to 24 months, depending where they are in the process, and also depending on their need and their motivation. ZAP is designed to take that potential lead, that potential buyer, and start engaging with them and start following up with them until they're ready to engage with you. So buyers, 100%, they need to go in ZAP. Now, with buyers, you can also send them out your property information so you can sync your buyers into your Business Builder. What if you send a buyer a flyer on a property that doesn't meet their qualifications? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? You know what? It's a good thing. I use this analogy, and a coach taught me this a long time ago. If you're going to hire a doctor, Do you want somebody that does heart surgery every month if you need to get your heart work done or a valve replaced? Or do you want somebody that does heart surgery, maybe 3-4 times a year? Those of you that want somebody that does heart surgery often, give me a green check mark. Those of you that are okay with somebody that maybe only does it 3 or 4 times a year, give me a red X. Barbara, you jumped right in there. You're right with me. I want somebody that's going to work on my heart that does it often, right? Well, you know what? Your heart is a priceless asset, but your home is normally your largest financial asset that you actually purchase, next to possibly your savings. So you know what? You want to place that in care with somebody who's actively doing real estate. So sending out your just listed, sending out your just sold to your buyers is perfect. It doesn't matter if it matches up with their exact criteria or not exact criteria. What you want to do, you want your clientele, you want your friends and family, you want your potential buyers to know that you are active in real estate, that you're not just somebody it's a part-time hobby. You're somebody who's doing it regularly and sharing and showing results. So back to our question, buyers always go into ZAP. And we always want to be able to share information with them. Next, let's clear up those check marks. Okay, online leads and clients. Where do they go? Green check mark for ZAP, red X for Business Builder.
ZAP.
Jamie and Barbara, you guys jumped right in. Yep, online leads. Every online lead and every active client that you have should be in ZAP. ZAP is designed just for that. It's to take those active clients and to move them from one transition to another and to follow up with them on a regular basis, to stay in front of them, to stay first in mind. What do we know by our past clients even? Our past clients that enjoy our services as an agent, 86% of our past clients do that were surveyed by NAR. They said that they enjoyed their services and they would recommend their agent. But yet, 12% do. Why? They forget who we are. So what we want to do is stay first of mind. We want to be in front of them. When they're actively working, ZAP is a perfect place to put them. Because again, you can see their activity. And I'll share with you some of the characteristics that ZAP actually follows up on and counts and can give you and share information with. So you guys are doing good with this. One more and I think we're done. How about past clients? Where should we focus our past clients? They already closed a transaction. Where should they be? Should they be in ZAP, green check mark, Business Builder, red X? Barbara, you are right on spot. Yeah, let's put those past clients into Business Builder because now what we want to do, we want to build that relationship. We want to stay first in mind. We want to be that person that's actually getting more referrals from their clients, not less. 20% of the people that actually were happy with their service. Now, the statistic's a little strange because it plays off another statistic. What happens is when you have a client and a consumer that you close a transaction with and they're happy with your service, 86% will say that they would recommend you. How can you get 4 to 5 referrals out of them? Well, you know what? 20% of the agents follow up with them more than 12 times a year. The agents that are following up with their past clients 20 to 30 times are actually yielding, on an average annually, 4 to 6 referrals. That's that sweet point that you want. So out of the 12% that are going to respond, we want to make sure that we have that biggest chunk. And not only are they just giving us 1 referral or 2 referrals, we want that really big chunk out of the 12% that are actually used. We want that 20% or higher where we can get those referrals out on a regular basis. So Business Builder. I've hit on it. I've talked about it. Business Builder is a relationship building program. That's exactly what it is. It's there to help maintain and build relationships with your friends and family, your past clients, people that you're networking with, people that you're trying to build a referral base from. And also your farming, whether you're doing geographical farming, professional farming, social media farming, everybody that you touch in some way, shape, or form is everyone is all a potential client for real estate. They should be in your business builder. And they should be on some form of campaign and communication, whether every time you get a just listed, you're sending it out. Every time you're getting a just sold, you're sending it out. Every time you're sending out a market update, you're sending it out. Every time you want to congratulate somebody for buying a home, you're sending it out. We want them to see that you're active in real estate. We want them to see that, you know what, you're productive and you're producing results. Because otherwise, they forget what we do. So we really want to stay in front of them.
Yes.
So ZAP, let's talk about ZAP. ZAP has one goal. It doesn't have multiple goals. It has one, and that's to convert leads. That's what it's designed for. That's what it does exceptionally well. And that's why we want to use it. So we want to take those leads from our online sources, leads from our book of business, referrals that we get from friends and family, people that we meet at open houses, any kind of active prospect that has raised their hand in some way, shape, or form, whether in person or online, that says, I'm interested in thinking, considering, or participating in purchasing real estate. Any of those potentials, they need to be in ZAP.
Because I noticed
And
offers
they
and
need
stuff.
to be engaged with
Yeah.
ZAP and on the campaigns that
It's not
ZAP
a bad idea to
offers,
put them into ZAP.
because they're
And then
specifically
you don't have to pay
designed
for it, right?
to be able to convert
Would
that
make- I think that's a
opportunity,
great
and that's
idea.
what your online lead is. That's what some of those,
Yeah.
you know, hey, by the way, I have a friend who may be interested. All of those are your opportunities. What ZAP is designed to do is to take that opportunity and grow it. Follow up with it. Keep on going. Finding out where they're at. Where are they at in that process? Are they starting to engage? That's where your ZAP score comes in. As we start seeing them engage, they're now going to your site. They're using the app. They're looking at property. They're saving property. They're starting to correspond. Just because you may not be hearing anything from them doesn't mean that they're not out there participating. And ZAP watches that. And it does it extremely well. So that should clarify a little bit of when do we use Business Builder and when do we use ZAP. And you know what? When we had both green and red X's, they were all right. Because everybody you have in ZAP, once you start learning more about them, you can also put them in Business Builder. We just want to make sure that we're following up with them in a correct process and that it's an effective process. You know, if you already have them in a campaign in ZAP and it's a buyer tracking, buyer lead conversion, whether or not they're hot, whatever type of property type they are, and you have them in a campaign there's nothing wrong with also sending them some of your listings. There's nothing wrong with sharing with them properties. There's nothing wrong with getting information out. So what are some of the top ways Business Builder has? One I absolutely love. It is the Life at Home newsletter. The Life at Home newsletter offers you monthly communication and it's education. That needs to be your goal. Whether or not it's your online lead or whether or not it's somebody in your past book of business, friends and family, your goal should be in your business plan that I want to develop the reputation for being the safe source for business for real estate information. If somebody has a question about anything to do with real estate, the first thing that should pop in their head, let me call Cindy Pride. She'll have the answer. Let me call David. David will know. Or, hey, you know what? Let me call my Century 21 person. Let me call Elizabeth. She's going to be able to help me. When anybody has, and that's really what your goal should be. When you look at marketing yourself, when you look at getting yourself out in front of your sphere of influence, when you look at getting yourself out in front of potential new clients, your leads, all you should want to be is a safe source for real estate. Let them come to you, share the answers, ask how you can help. When you start doing that, those doors will open and you'll start getting contracts, you'll start getting listings, you'll start getting production. And even look at Century 21. Our goal on century21.com is to be a safe source for real estate information. People can go to century21.com and find out how to buy a house. People can go there and find out how to sell their house. Yes, do we also tell them that maybe it'd be beneficial if they hire an agent to sell their house? Absolutely. But do we give them the steps and process of how to be able to set their house up, how to be able to stage their house, how to be able to look to make sure that the deferred maintenance, inspections, We give them step by step. Why do we do it? We want to become that safe source of real estate information. We don't require consumers to come to our website and have to log in to get everything. We don't require, a lot of different things. But what we do ask is that we want to be able to have the answers that consumers are looking for. That's what you need to have. That's your ZAP website. That's your communication. Well, anyway, I know I'm beating the bush a little bit. Well, Business Builder Life at Home newsletter gives you pre-written articles. So we write articles. They're professionally written for you. You can use them, or you can choose other articles that we've written within the article library resource. We have over 300 different articles in our archive that you can actually pull out. So if you want to change, and maybe you're in a southern region and there's an article about winterizing your home, delete that article and go into the article library and choose another one. Or if you have the ability, the talent, and the time, write your own local articles and put them in there. And I do suggest going in and changing out the photos. Put photos of you in there. Put photos of your clients in there. Put photos of your community in there instead of using the stock images that we actually provide in the newsletter. But you know what? The newsletter is offered in a campaign, so you can go ahead, set it up on a campaign, add people to it. When you add people to it, they're just going to get the next newsletter that comes down the pipeline. Once your newsletter is getting ready to be sent, you actually get a 3 weeks notice to let you know that it is coming up in queue. And you get an email from Market Leader that states that it's time for you to go in there and customize it. And if you choose not to customize it, it's going to go out as it was written by Market Leader. But it does give you some reminders to go back in there and go ahead and customize it. Plus, your newsletter goes out the same time every month. Mine go out on the 18th of every month. Everybody gets a different day. And what you have the availability to do is put that in your calendar. So mine goes out on the 18th. I know by the 10th, I should go in there and look at it. Switch it around, change out some photos, and change out some articles. The other thing is, I have my friends and family on the Life at Home newsletter. I'm running right now a 42% read rate. That's huge for online emails, especially for campaign pieces. I can tell you that this is normally offered not only electronically, but also in print and in Spanish. But right now, because of the rebranding and reworking, and Business Builder is one of those tools that hasn't been completely rebranded yet, we have pulled the print version down. So the only thing that's currently available is the Life at Home email campaign or the electronic monthly emails that you can send out on demand. Any questions about the Life at Home newsletter or that campaign? If not, go ahead and give me a green check mark. If you have a question, please go ahead and put it in the chat. Elizabeth and Emily are ready to go. Awesome. It seems like everybody is. Cool. The next thing is marketing your listings. So what's one of the best ways to use Business Builder? Shout it out. You can create postcards. That's the one where I have Baker 15 West Oaks. That's actually a printable postcard that you can either have printed professionally by Express Docs, or you can save it in a PDF, print it on your own, or email it to Office Depot, to Staples, Office Max, or a local printer and have it printed locally. So you have direct mail postcards. Not only do you have direct mail postcards, you also have property flyers. You also have just listed emails, just sold emails, everything. I have this one, it's just listed, and you notice in the top picture, it has that play button, right? Well, guess what? Everything that you do electronically, even your Life at Home newsletter, you can incorporate video. You can incorporate videos about yourself, or guess what Century 21 creates for you? Every one of your listings gets a video. So instead of just sending your just listeds out with standard flat photos, go ahead and exchange out one of the photos and go ahead and put in a video. And send it out not only with still photos, but in the information about the property. But let them click on it and actually see the YouTube video that Century 21 creates for you on your listings. Cool? Even better, just sold. When do your clients love you the most?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, your clients normally love you the most at the closing table. So you know what? Do me a favor. Every one of you I know have a smartphone. When they say, "Oh, Nicole, I just loved working with you. You were awesome. I couldn't recommend or wanted a better agent than you. Thank you so much. We love our home. We're happy. We're moving on, whatever they're happy about, but they're always happy. Do yourself a favor. So you know what? Would you mind doing that again? And ask the title agent, ask the attorney to go ahead and take the video and stand in there with them, or, stand in there without them, take the video yourself, whatever your option is. But you know what? Then send out your just sold. Hey, just sold 123 Smith Street. You want to hear what the Rodriguezes had to say about me? Click here. Video testimonial, gang, is huge. So think about this. Here you got online consumers. They're starting to see that you have listings. They're starting to see that you have closings. But not only that you have closings, but guess what? The people that you work with are happy with you. Guess who's going to want to work with you? Other people, because they want to be happy with you as well. Consumers today will rate getting a root canal over working with a real estate agent and buying a home. That's crazy. So what we want to do is make sure. So Business Builder gives you great opportunity. You have print material. There's a property flyer. There's other things that you can print out, a buyer guide, a seller guide. Great. They've just been updated in Business Builder, updated with content, not updated with branding, but we're working on that. There's great things in Business Builder to market your listings and leverage it. Not only can you market them via email, you can also market them via social media. You can go ahead and create your just listed flyer and put it on your Facebook, put it on your Twitter, put it on your Pinterest, and get it out there. You can also get a URL code and go ahead and put a hyperlink and put it on your website. Get it out there in some way, shape, or form. So one of the other things we talked about with Business Builder. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me see, Kara. I did not see your question, so hold on one second. Great idea, Elizabeth. Thank you. Let me see, Kara. Let me find your other question. Kara, I'm not seeing it. Can you please retype it? I'm sorry about that, but if you can. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I see Alex and Shirley and Barbara.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I got a bunch of birthdays.
Everyone would be like, sure.
I'm standing by.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any questions? Please put them in the chat box. I want to make sure that we can address Carlos as we get it. I can guess it's lengthy, but that's okay. So while you're typing in your question, I am going to talk about the campaigns again that are in Business Builder. So one of the things about the campaigns, Business Builder offers you 42 different types of campaigns for almost every different type of client. So you have your newsletter campaign. We already talked about the Life at Home newsletter. You have referral buildings and repeat business campaigns. You have your 21 Stay in Touch campaign with holidays and without holidays, depending on your political and religious beliefs. We also have the birthday campaign. So let's talk about some of these. The anniversary campaign is not their wedding anniversary. It's the anniversary purchase of their home. The birthday campaign is a 5-year follow-up program for their birthday. Love that campaign. And you know what? Where do we find out where clients' birthdays are? Carla, I'll get to it in just 1 second. Where do we find out clients' birthdays?
Facebook.
If we don't know by asking or being involved in their life as their birthday happened to happen, where can we find it out? Facebook. Absolutely. So you know what? You may not know the exact day that the birthday is. I do it with my mother, believe it or not, and I do it with my friends. I wish them happy birthday palooza. So my mother's birthday is on December 16th, and she gets a birthday email from me in Century 21 that wishes her on the 1st of December, have a happy birthday palooza month. Because guess what? When you send it to them and it's not on their birthday, you stand out of the crowd. You become that purple cow. That's something that's recognizable. So unless their birthday's on the 1st of the month, you're not going to stand out. But also, really think about it. So that gives you a 5-year campaign right there. We have Hispanic marketing campaign. We have a home and garden one. It's all about maintaining your house. Things that you can do in the garden. What are planting seasons? What are different things that you can do? Home maintenance, changing your batteries and your smoke alarms, your air conditioning filters, all those great things. We have a lead conversion one, so that's similar to what's offered in ZAP, but not as aggressive as ZAP. We have a past client campaign, a prospecting campaign, and a recruiting campaign for my brokers and managers. Currently, the recruiting campaign is pulled, just in case I have any brokers and managers in today's session. We are rebuilding it and rebranding it to our new mission and vision.
What was that?
And it should be back uploaded soon. So let me get to those questions. Just wondering what my thoughts are about buying leads from Business Builder or regular versus the pro system. Okay, great question. It was worth waiting for. I have a problem with buying leads through Business Builder. And I also have a problem with upgrading pro. So here's my thing. I have people that went ahead and purchased the leads through pro and found very little value. I think that could be something that's geographically. They're supposed to be scrubbing the leads and you're supposed to get so many leads. I would much rather have you reinvest that money in getting leads and activity in other ways. And I'll talk about those in a second. So also Pro, Business Builder, we give you a standard version of Business Builder through your relationship and your affiliation with your broker. That's completely broker provided. It doesn't cost you a penny. And it is something that's absorbed through your brokerage. Believe it, Market Leader does not give it to us for free and we're not passing it to you for free. There is a fee for it. Market Leader does offer a pro version. In the pro version, you get a couple things. One, you get a website. Guess what? You guys already have a website. And honestly, you have 3 websites, but that's a whole nother conversation. So you get a website. You know what? I don't want you to have another website. I want you to leverage your ZAP site. I want you to get your ZAP site out there. I want you to start realizing how you can customize it. There's been some changes. I want you to put your agent insights in there. I really want you to leverage it. I teach a class on maximizing your ZAP. Come and take it with me. And I will share it with you on how to maximize your ZAP site. I would rather have you spend money to maximize your site, to get a better visibility. So when somebody's looking at real estate within your marketplace, Carla, that they're actually finding you and they're finding your site. I also think that every one of you, with your ZAP site, you need to make sure that you have a custom URL and you're not using the URL that we give you that's so many characters. But anyway, back to Pro. Pro will also give you more campaigns and it will also give you more emails and print templates. You know what? Do me a favor. Use the ones we have. The ones we have are completely customizable and you can make your own templates and you can make your own campaigns right in Business Builder. So until you're clicking on so many things in Business Builder and it says, 1, you've used everything, and 2, every other thing you click on, it says only available in Pro, save the $100. To be able to upgrade to Pro is $99 in most cases unless they're running a special. I'm not an advocate of it. We give you enough with what you're provided with. Like I said, if you're maxing out what we give you, great, upgrade. If you're not maxing out what you're giving you and leveraging it to the max, spend your money wisely. Sure. There's some great, and Carla, if you reach out to me, my email address, I'll go ahead and put it in my ZAP box. In the chat box is Catherine@c21.com. Reach out to me. There's a couple people that I know that are doing some great things with online lead generation. So I can kind of connect you with them a little bit. And they're actively doing it. They're having very great success with it. And they're getting buyer leads. They're getting selling leads. So I can just shoot me an email. Anybody else that wants it, shoot me an email. Or when I send out, I forgot to record today's session. Anyway, if you're interested, just shoot me an email and I'll get that out to you. So Elizabeth had the same question because she's been using the Pro versus ZAP. You know what? I really think you guys got to start utilizing ZAP. And I know when ZAP was launched, let's be honest for a second, especially now that I realized I forgot to record today's session. I'll get you out a recording. I'll probably do one over the weekend and get it out at the beginning of next week. But You know what? ZAP wasn't launched in the best way, shape, or form. We get it. But you know what? We fixed it, and it works great. Reach out to the ZAP labs, take the videos, take some of the classes. We're putting in a whole new bunch of classes on how to be able to make sure that you're leveraging ZAP, using ZAP. Also, we rewrote PEP. For those of you that may have been in the system for a while, PEP is our productivity enhancement process with agents, and it is an 8-week long, once a week course, or once every other week course. And we just got done rewriting it, and it's all about lead generation. It's all about generating leads, converting leads, and leveraging the Century 21 tools to be able to do that. So more to come for that yesterday. You know, yeah, the pro website does look better, but you know what? The pro website's not going to give you all the analytics. It's not going to give you the ZAP score. It's not going to give you some of the things that you have. That ZAP score to me is a no-brainer. I talk to agents every day that are leveraging ZAP, and they're watching scores. I was just doing a training last week, and an agent, she stood up in the middle of the class, 120 agents, and she laid it out there. She said she leverages her ZAP. She says she knows other people don't. She leverages her ZAP, and honestly, she closes business that she never would have if she didn't leverage ZAP and keep an eye out on it. Because of what she used to do before. She used to get a lead, respond to them, maybe once, twice, 3 or 4 times, and then put them on a campaign and never really pay attention to them. And now ZAP actually puts them back in her face. She has enough leads, enough activity in her ZAP that she's getting ZAP scores. And you know, she watches somebody, and then all of a sudden they pull up on her radar, and ZAP's reaching out to her and saying, "Hey, this guy's looking," and she's reaching out and she's engaging and she's closing business. So, you know what? You do what's best for you. Baskin Robbins makes 31 flavors for a reason, gang. I am a Jamocha fudge almond, so I am not the normal flavor that you're going to run into. If you like it and you think it's a good investment, just look at your cost per use. How much are you spending for it, and what kind of return are you getting? I use that for everything, whether I'm buying a watch, buying a purse, or buying technology. It's cost per use. How often am I going to use it? And what is it going to, is it going to free my time? Is it going to build me business? What is it going to do? And look at the cost per use. So if you love Pro, you know what? Do it. My only thing is, you know what? Make sure you're leveraging everything that we're offering before. Okay. Enough of that bandwagon. And I think I got. How do you get seller leads if you work a full-time job? The best thing, I teach a class in that too. Working another full-time job and really working on your sellers and getting listings is the easiest thing. Trying to do buyers and manage a full-time job is suicidal. Buyers are always going to want to do something when you're at work, and you're going to put them off, and then they're going to decide that you're not the right agent for them, and they're going to jump. Going after seller leads is where it is. It's building market share that matters. And I put my email in the box. Just send me an email that says building market share, and I'll actually send you a recording of that class. That's how you can get seller leads and still work a full-time job. And getting listings is going to be the first thing that's going to get you out of your full-time job into a full-time real estate career. Okay, so back on track. So some of the top ways to be able to leverage ZAP. So now we talked about Business Builder, why Business Builder is important, and some of the ways to be able to leverage it. Now remember, this is where my ZAP expert was going to come in, so hang in there with me. I do have a pretty good, stable ZAP knowledge. I would rate myself, somewhere in the upper, area somewhere. But anyway, so some of the things we're going to talk about. One, I can't say it enough. I teach that class, Maximize Your ZAP. You need to be maximizing and leveraging your ZAP website. It's not going to go away. But you know what? Realogy didn't spend multi-millions and hundreds of millions of dollars to purchase it if it didn't have value. So therefore, you should be leveraging that value. Also, the same thing with your ZAP app. I run into more agents, and I ask them, well, how can I get your ZAP app? And they don't know. You should know. You should be able to make sure that you have a URL on your ZAP website that is cindyprod.com. Cindy, if she has a ZAP website, it should just be her name.com. Nothing fancy, not Cindy sells South Florida and loves Jacksonville.com. Nope, it should be cindyprod.com. And you know what? Her app Should be similar and easy to be able to access. It should be a text code. You know what? Here, let me text it, or learn how to share it right in your ZAP app. All you have to do is click on the share button, and I can text you a link to it. So, oh, well, Catherine, what's your cell phone number? Oh, here's my cell phone number. Well, here, I'll text you a link, and then I can download your ZAP app. You need to make sure how to leverage this too. Another one, you need to know what ZAP knows, and we're going to talk about that. ZAP tracks everything and anything, and you need to know about that. Also, the automated follow-up plans, those follow-up plans are rocking awesome. We have a guru, a bunch of millennial people have been there. They're out in California, and all they do is write code and look at open rates. Your ZAP business builder campaigns are a lot prettier. They have graphics in them. They're warm and fuzzy. But you know what? ZAPs, that subject line in that email gets tweaked over and over and over. When they start to see a decrease in an open rate in an email that you send out, they rewrite it. They retweak it. They follow trend words. When you get an online lead, they gotta be in that ZAP campaign because it's designed to convert them. That's all. And we have a room of people. All they do is watch and say, okay, you know what? This word's trending more. This word's trending. There are 27 words that you can use in marketing and advertising that will make people read more. They are leveraging every one of those words. Anyway, manage your leads. You need to know what you got. And you gotta stop playing baseball gang. Agents, I work with more and more agents on lead conversion, and I don't want to raise hands. I don't want green check marks. I don't want X's. Barbara, if you want something, do me a favor, and you got to just shoot me an email. If you put it in the chat box, I'm not going to be able to get it. So just shoot me an email at Catherine@c21.com. Okay. One of the things that we have to look at, again, is you guys play baseball with leads. You get a lead, you reach out once, you don't get a response. You reach out twice, you don't get a response. You reach out 3 times. Well, I tried reaching out with 3 times. I'd given them all the information, and you know what? I didn't hear anything from them, and they're dead and bogus. You're not going to do anything with them. You must put them on a campaign. It's no longer an option. For your own financial benefit, you need to put them on a campaign. Like I said before, it takes those online leads anywhere between 1 month to 6 months to 18 months to 24 months to start wanting to engage. And I teach a class on that. It's converting internet leads. And we go a little bit more into that process. But you know what? You got to stop playing baseball. It's not 3 strikes and you're out. It's following it. You have to start thinking about them as certificate deposits. Remember in the banks had CDs. I have one. I have a bunch of them. You put money in the bank in a CD, and then they give you more money after it sits there long enough. Well, you know what? That's your online leads. They're 6-month CDs, 12-month CDs, 18-month CDs, 2-year CDs. I had one of the biggest commission checks. It was over $80,000 commission check. It was a lead that I got from online that I followed up for 28 months. And in 28 months, I cashed a check for over 80 grand. If I would have played baseball with that lead, 1, 2, 3 strikes are out. That's huge, gang. 1 commission check for 80 grand. It was unbelievable. How did I get it? I got it through Lead Router and our lead system. You know, we didn't have ZAP at the time. And guess what? And I followed up with him on campaigns. And when he was finished with the campaign, I'd reach back out, and he was still looking. So I said, well, I'll put you back on the campaign. And then you have to realize that you have to stay fast on ZAP. When you get a lead, you have to respond to it. You can't put it off and go, oh, well, you know what? No, you have to respond, and we're going to talk about these. So let's jump into our ZAP piece because we're hitting to the end of our time. ZAP reporting, what does it watch? Well, you know what? It watches the number of desktop logins, the number of mobile logins, how many property insights people read, recommended searches, how many recommended homes, how many calls. You call through your ZAP app, it registers and logs your call. You don't even have to go in and update the lead. If you text through your ZAP app, it registers. You know, your touch points, your notes, your completed showings, your text messages that you sent, your leads that you close. It measures and reports everything. So you know what? It knows what you're doing in your business. The next thing is your ZAP website. Been there, done that. We talked about it. Make sure that your bio is done. Make sure your social media links there. Add video. Add your reviews. You no longer have to actually have the property listed to put in a property review. You know, put in your local community insights. Those are huge. They add so much to your search engine optimization. And you know what? You can't be the best agent if people can't find you. Just like I mentioned to Carla, I really would rather have her invest something in SEO to drive people to her site versus buying leads. And also, there's the other theory. Do you really need more leads, or do you need to be able to convert the leads you have? Good question. Food for thought. Make sure your zip codes are right. Make sure your towns are right. If you're missing an area because the zip code isn't showing it, reach back out. You can go ahead and put in that sub-zip code. So maybe if there's a little community within a community, now get that to show on your site. And make sure your account settings are right. Your email signature, everything else that you have. Make sure your lead notification settings are right. I worked with one agent. She goes, Catherine, I never get any leads. And the broker begged me to work with her because she's a top agent. And she never gets any leads through Lead Router and through ZAP. So you know what? We looked at her settings. She only got leads 3 days a week between 2 and 4 in the afternoon. No wonder she didn't get any leads. She was telling the system she didn't want leads except for 6 hours out of a week. Crazy. But you know what? Make sure you didn't make a typographical error. Make sure you didn't change something that you didn't want changed. You know what? Not getting any leads on the weekends, probably not the smartest thing. That's when people search. Not getting any leads at night, probably not the smartest thing. That's when people search. Make sure that you set up an auto flow plan. Make sure that you have everything that you need. Rename your follow-up plans so you know which ones you like. If you customized any of them, don't automatically put the phone calls in the trash can. Stay engaged with them. Call them. Text them. And you know what? If you don't want to call them, text them. Say, hey, by the way, this is Catherine from Century 21. Just want to know if you're still looking. If there's anything I can help you with, just text me back. They're not ready to talk to you, but believe it or not, they'll start texting you with the leads that you're getting. If you call them and they don't respond, send them a text message. Say, hi, this is Catherine from Century 21. Just tried calling, went to your voicemail. No big deal, but I have the information that you want. Please just let me know when would be a good time. And you know what? They'll start communicating via chat with you way before they're ready to talk to you on the phone. Really kind of look at some of this, and I'll share all these. Your relationship status, make sure that you have your prospects, who are your responsive prospects, who's getting information, who's indicating, who's starting to respond back, who's non-responsive. Just because they're non-responsive doesn't mean that they're not in the game. Doesn't mean that they don't want to participate. They're just not there yet, and that's okay. And then cold. Still, you know what? They haven't logged into your website for the last 60 days. You know what? They may be out there. See, what do you have on them? Do you have their email address? Can you send them something of value? Can you offer them something? Email open-ended questions. Text open-ended questions. Don't just correspond with yes or no or throw them out tons of information. Share things. Also, who are you showing property to? Who is making offers? Who's actually in transaction? Who's in that pre-listing? Who's in that listing? Who's a closed client? Make sure that you have all these and that you're watching what you're doing with those different relationships. Also, okay, so a couple of the things. Responding to your leads. You need to respond as fast as you can. The faster you can respond to your leads, the better off you're going to be and the more responsive. 72% of all consumers will actually respond with the agent they'll engage with the agent that responds first. Huge thing. Let's talk some statistics on leads right now. How long do you think, on average, as a profession nationally, so this is a NAR statistic, how long do you think it takes us as a profession to respond to an internet lead? Put it in the chat box.
What do you think? Well, as an industry, how long?
And Carla, ZAP is eventually going to get marketing tools. It's part of our goal, but right now we're working so much on focusing to make ZAP more aggressive and more user-friendly just for the lead conversion side. It kind of put back on the back burner. Okay, Elizabeth says 1 to 3 hours, 1 hour, 12 hours. Okay, let's keep on going. You guys are nowhere near what statistically it takes 72 hours. Emily nailed it. 72 hours is the average response to the agent when a client creates an online lead. That is unacceptable, gang. Also, guess how many leads actually get responded to? Anybody want to put that one in the chat box? So out of the 100% of the leads that consumers generate, how many do we actually respond to? We got 40%?
25%.
75%? 40%? 50%? 47% of the leads actually get responded to. So we respond as a profession to less than 50% of the leads that are generated. And on average, as a profession, it takes us 72 hours to only respond to
That's
half.
what your competitors are doing.
Yeah, right.
See what I'm
Huge problem.
saying? Huge.
You know what? You have the technology. You get that lead in 72 seconds. Respond to it. That's why we pay for it. That's why we developed it. That's why it's there. Think about yourself. If you're online, what are you doing in 72 seconds? Probably still in the same spot, or at least still, you can hit your back button and get back to where you were, right? Where are you in 72 hours? I'm no longer online. I'm in the grocery store. I'm at the movies, or maybe I'm already talking to an agent. We have to make sure, and fast is what it needs to be. So, couple things. How do we get them to respond? One, you need to try to respond to that lead within a 5-minute window, even if it's just a quick acknowledgement. If they don't answer the phone, do the double dial. How many of us have felt guilty? Okay, so let's be honest. How many of us get a phone call from a number we don't recognize and ignore it? And we wait to go to voicemail. Crazy. And we're in the sales business. We should be answering every crazy phone number that we get. But you know what? Sometimes we don't, especially if it comes from a different area code. Well, you know what? Especially with the portability with mobile phones now. I've been living in South Carolina for a few years, which is an 803 area code, but my area code is 772. So even though I'm calling locally, my phone number doesn't reflect that. So be careful about that. But guess what? Or how many times we see a number we don't recognize that it comes across our phone, and then a couple seconds later, it calls back. Then what do we perceive? We perceive that it's urgent. It is the trick of the double dial. So when you're reaching out to your clients, if they don't answer the first call, don't leave a voicemail yet. Go ahead, wait like 30, 40 seconds, and then dial them back. You'll be surprised. Your answer rate will increase. And then just say, hi, this is Catherine. I dialed once, I didn't get you, so I tried the number again. Obviously, this is the right number. Please, when you have a chance, leave them a voicemail message. Follow it up with text messages. Text messages are huge. Text messages are right on spot. Send a text message. People will respond to text messages. And your voicemail, you just want to leave it so they know that it's you, that you called. And then follow it up with a text message that says, hi, this is Catherine from Century 21. Sorry I missed you. Just left you a quick voicemail that I did try to reach out to you. But when you have a time, text me back. I'll be more than happy to share that information. Let them know who that number was. It was you. And if they start responding to text, don't start calling them. Stay in the form of communication that they're in. So if you can get them to engage in text, stay in that text realm until they take it to the next level. Don't push to say, you know what, this would be a lot easier on the phone. They're not ready to talk to you, so don't push them there. Communicate in their comfort zone, and that could be text and email. Just do it and live by it. Why speed matters? We talked about it. Calling 3 times is 68% more effectively than calling once. Calling 6 times is 94% better than calling once. Only 48% of the leads get responded to. I was off by 1%. Yeah. And more than 50% of the consumers go, well, actually, 70% of the consumers go with the agent that contacted them first. So be first. So again, when choosing an agent, response. That's what they're looking at. The most aggressive, the most responsive. The most responsive got the highest rate, and then the next one was most aggressive. And the third one that we see, the 17% was the one who first responded. The next 17% was the most aggressive. And the most responsive, that means responding first, was 32%. Huge gain. Lead conversion slowly over time. This is what you have to understand. These are CVs. They're starting that process. Just an online lead is an opportunity waiting to happen. It's not somebody banging on your door. In some cases it is, but in most cases it's not anybody banging on your door saying, I want to buy property today, I have money hanging out of my pocket. It's an opportunity to be able to convert. Conversion time, realize you need to be able to reach out. When we look at, over 85% aren't contacted. So we need to make sure So my statistics and my ZAP person statistics are a little off, but they're close. But only 15%, he's saying only 15% actually request contact. So you know what? We need to be able to make sure that we're getting out there and that we're contacting and responding to these consumers fast. And texting is huge. Going back to that, just looked in the chat box, but texting is huge. You know, lead incubation. If lead incubation stops after 6 months, 50% of the deals that you could get could be lost. If lead incubation stops after 3 months, 70% of the deals that you could get can be lost. Lead incubation has to continue anywhere from 12 to 16 months. You just need to understand that. Don't give up on them. Just because they're not responding doesn't mean that they're not actually active. It doesn't mean that they're not out there working. And ZAP helps you incubate it and keep on target. You get your ZAP score. We have campaigns. You can see the success of your campaigns. You can see how everything's working. So if you kind of got disillusioned by ZAP, come back. We have great classes. Come back and come into the fold. Find somebody. Reach out on Workplace and say, hey, who's working ZAP really well, and are you willing to talk to me? And you know what? Believe it or not, you probably have 10 agents raise their hand that said, I'd love to talk to you about how to leverage ZAP because it's working for them. And it's all about winning consumers, whether or not you're using ZAP, whether or not you're using Business Builder. Use both and get business from your book of business, your past clients, your friends and family, your sphere of influence, and start, it's whether or not, you guys ask me, should I be purchasing leads? My theory is, you know what? Convert the leads you have. If you're converting 70% of the leads that you have in your pipeline, historically, year over year, month over month, then you know what? Go out and get more leads. Work on converting the ones you have. Sometimes, I always hear agents, I need more leads, I need more leads. I hear brokers say, I need more leads, I need more leads. Well, what are you doing with the ones you have? Well, they're no good. You know what? They're just as good as the ones that you're going to end up purchasing and buying. So capturing consumers' activity, love how ZAP does it. The more they start doing it, the better it off is. Agents, you got to be present. There's two reasons again, and you have to be there. You have to be the first one that responds. You have to be starting to follow up with them in some way, shape, or form. And I'm telling you, text messaging right now is king. Video is queen. Getting out there and getting those things out in front of consumers is huge. So that critical open act, you know what? It's the discovery process. And then it goes from discovery into consideration, then from consideration into intent, then from intent into engagement. See, engagement is step 4. You have to hang out until they actually transition from discovery to consideration to intent to engagement before they're actually ready to, guess what? Engage with you. Again, that's why those follow-up programs are there. That's how they're designed. And then from engagement, they go into purchase. Now they're actively purchasing, they're actively listing, and then into referrals. Millennial generation, they're crazy. We love them. Millennials are making up 60% of your marketplace. Going into the next 2 years, millennials are going to outpace any other purchasing demographic that's there. They like to text. And guess what? You know how to text. So get out there and start communicating with them. Own your web and own your mobile app and start that conversation early. And that's what millennials are going to respect. They're going to like the app. And you know what? You may not think it's as pretty, but ZAP is built and designed on a consumer need, not on an agent need. Everything that ZAP has is there for a reason. Your ZAP site is designed the way it is because statistically, and we run the numbers and we run the analytics, it's designed the way clients want to see it. Not the way we want to see it. It's the way clients want to see it. Mm-hmm. And that's what you have to remember. There's a lot of other sites that look pretty. There's a lot of other sites that have more bells. You know what? I'm your average consumer. I don't want a site that's got a bunch of bells and whistles. I want a site where I can do what? Search property and ask a question. And guess what? Your consumers are the same way. So really kind of look at it, kind of understand where we're at. And hopefully you got something out of today.